Canes, they win again. That was a good road opener for the Hurricane deal. There's yeah, that again, this game will be a testament to our coaching ability for sure. I think uh, I think Carolina has really done a great job so far, especially under Rod Brindamore, of just clicking right off the bat. The first game, I think they played a little bit better in the first game. But the second game, they come in, they play a very similar style of game. I think they're a fun team to watch, and they're able to click. I think, Ethan Bear isn't quite yet playing with Slavin at the same way Dougie Hamilton was, but that was after 3 years of playing together versus 2 games. I think Tony D'Angelo, for me, he doesn't stand out as much on the 5-on-5, but on the power play, he really clicks with. Why am I blanking on his name? He really clicks with Andrei Svechnikov. And Svechnikov had another great night as well, but I think the power play, I think they need to score. I mean, they're getting the chances, they're working well together, they're passing well on the power play, but I think they need to score more. Going 0-4 on power plays to me is unacceptable, and that might have been the difference between the Islanders game and this game against the Predators. I think Carolina, again, I think they're a good team. They're getting a lot of the rust off together, and they're winning. And right now, it doesn't matter who you're playing, what the situation is, where they are in the standings. They need to win games, and that's the most important part of this season. So, in October, November, December, and even January, it's all about just, I think January, then you start paying attention to how other teams are doing. Unless you're doing either atrociously bad or really good, at this point in the season, you just want to be winning games, getting those overtime losses, because it's easier to do it now than it is when you're fighting for a playoff spot just mentally and just in general. It's like it sucks if you look like, in January and you're like, oh, we're 5 games below the playoff spot. So, and catching up's a lot harder with the Bettman point. So, because when there's 3-point games, it's going to be more difficult. So, all you got to do is just you got to keep winning. We beat the Western Conference teams. Western Conference teams, you at least want a point. It doesn't matter. There's no must-win games right now. So the fact that Carolina comes in, they beat a division rival who they don't see till April. They beat the Predators, a Western Conference team, which, by the way, this was a really great hockey game. It was physical. It was fast. You really felt like those teams hated each other. These teams should be in the same conference because Nashville and Carolina, they hate each other. And, we just played a playoff series, and it's a lot of fun when they play each other. That hatred is going to die down as time goes on. It just is. So I would love for the Nashville Predators to enter our conference because I think that would be a lot of fun. And, kick Columbus out. I know time zone stuff, but you know what? Like, yeah. I mean, I'm nitpicking here on the divisions and everything, and I'm going to eventually sound like a broken record if I keep repeating it. But Carolina and Nashville, they should be in the same conference. I actually think the NHL should maybe go to a south-north situation because then you can get the original 6 in the same conference. You can get, I feel like all the Canadian teams would be in the same conference, which, given how much the Canadians naturally hated each other and their fan bases disliked each other, I think actually really worked. But yeah, I mean, this isn't that kind of video. Back to the hockey game as scheduled in this video. For Hurricane of the game, there's not much to say because a lot of my compliments of the game, you can go back to the last game and I give it and then some. But Hurricane of the game, I got to give it to Frederick Anderson. Frederick Harold Bluetooth Anderson played unbelievable this game. I mean, this game, we really won this game because of him. I think Carolina played really well in general. I think we outplayed Nashville, but Frederick Anderson is what put us over the hump for winning this game tonight. The goal at the last minute of the game was not his fault. It was a rebound. I never blame rebounds on the goalie. So to be able to come in, he made some phenomenal saves, and I think our offense wasn't quite there enough this game. You got to get more than 2 goals and an empty netter to me. But the offense didn't show up as much in terms of putting pucks in the back of the net. Frederick Anderson came back with the saves and made some beautiful saves. He was consistent. He was confident. This is exactly what you want to see as a Canes fan if you bring in a fresh new goalie. Because Frederick Anderson, He's only played 2 games. He had a weak season last season, and tonight for his first 2 appearances, he's done pretty well for us, in my opinion. So yeah, Frederick Anderson showing up, playing insanely consistent. It all comes down to why am I blanking on things? But yeah, so that's it for this one. We got a long gap until the next Hurricanes game. I may make some content here and there in between. Maybe some Hurricanes news will come out. But this has been. I'm actually really excited for this team. Ethan Bear, another player, he standing out to me as playing particularly well, adjusting to the system. Jesper Foss played well. Svechnikov played unbelievable. If Frederick Anderson didn't stand on his head, Svechnikov would have gotten Hurricane of the game. But Freddy was just too good to not give it. I think Jacob Slavin is back to doing Jacob Slavin things a lot earlier in the season. And yeah, so just all good things all around. All good, to quote my generation, all good vibes going into the first 2 games of the season. 80 more to go. So yeah, I'll see you guys for the next game against Montreal. Hopefully, Kotkaniemi can show that hey, he should have accepted the offer sheet. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. I should have matched it. Also, if you guys like the content I'm producing on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Click the bell if you want to get notified when I upload. And yeah, I'll see you guys from Montreal. Let's beat those Frenchies.